Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to use the rest of the chicken that we got on the food haul on Friday, as well as some Brussels sprouts we got a couple weeks ago. I blanched and froze a whole bunch of them, but I still have a little bit left in the fridge. And we are going to make a sheet pan dinner. I never make sheet pan dinners. I don't know why. I'm all about easy. So I'm not sure why I never do it. And then we're going to make my husband's lunch. I usually save leftovers and then I'll do it not the next day but the day after, so he doesn't get a dinner for lunch the next day, to give him kind of a break. But we had a family party last night, so I don't have anything to send with him for tomorrow. So let's get cooking. I think I figured out how to do this above business. Look at this. Look at this. That's amazing. Let's see if we can take it out. So I have no idea what we're doing here. We're just going to create, like I said, that's my jam. But first we're going to marinate some chicken. So I have some balsamic vinegar. I'm going to do 1/4 cup. Actually, I'm looking at the amount of chicken I have. We're going to do 1/2 cup. Okay, so you have 1/2 cup of balsamic. We are going to have my trusty minced Kirkland garlic, because I am so lazy to chop garlic. Now, I don't know about you, but garlic is life. So we're going to do 2 spoonfuls of garlic. My cutting board's a little warped, so I have this towel underneath because it's sliding. We are going to do some onion powder. Wing it. If you like a lot of onion, put a lot. If you don't put so much. Then we're going to do some black pepper. I've really found that I like white pepper more. I want to try red pepper and green pepper. I just keep forgetting. So some pepper. We're going to do some paprika. We're going to do some basil, because basil is one of my favorite condiments. And then I forgot salt. Let me grab some salt. And throw some salt in there. And then we are going to juice 1/2 a lemon into it. You roll your lemon, get some of that juice loose. It gets it so that when you, oh my goodness, my knife needs sharpening. It gets it so that when you juice it, the more juice comes out. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So 1/2 a lemon. Okay. Give this a stir. And a smell. Perfect. My nose is so clogged. It is 10 degrees, or it was 10 degrees when I took my daughter to school this morning. It was freezing outside. So I already cut up my chicken. I just rough cut it into chunks like this. So we're going to add that in. And we're going to let this marinate for a little bit while we cut up the rest of the stuff. All right. I already cleaned these up and I pre-sliced them. They're just Brussels sprouts. It's one of these Food Saver Fresh things, so we'll use those. And then I have this piece of butternut squash. We're just going to throw that in. So let me cut that up. All right, there's not a ton of it, but you know what? We're just getting rid of stuff we have in the fridge, and that's okay. I cut it kind of big because there wasn't that many. So let's put that in our container with our Brussels sprouts. Next, we're going to cut up this container of petite fingerlings I have. This one looks like it has some sprouts on it, so it definitely needs to be used. We're just going to chop up the parts that we can use. Let's do that. Okay, we got these all cut up. I cut some of them in halves and some of them in thirds just to make them about the same size. And I'm going to throw these. I have a bowl full of salt water. Since I'm not quite ready to cook these potatoes yet, this will keep them, one, looking fresh and get out some of that carbiness that we don't need because we're already a carby gal, even without this baby. I realized I'm 28 weeks pregnant. I think I'm 28 weeks pregnant. Yeah, I'm like, holy cow, it's coming so fast. Okay, so we have our potatoes in some water. And now we're going to cut up. I have this much leeks left. Let me move this stuff. So we're going to cut up this piece of leek and probably about half of this onion. So we got the leek done. Now for the onion, we want to save some of this skin because we like to make chicken stock here, or not just chicken stock. We like to make our own stock. And this stuff still has a lot of flavor in it, and it's really good for throwing in your broth. So I just have a bag in my freezer, and I throw it in a bag, and when I make stock the next time, I'll have all of this to put in there. So, well, the loose one's already off. Let's cut this onion in half. I cut off the end with the, I don't even know what that's called. I cut off that end and we'll save that. And then we left this part on because that'll hold our onion together while we cut it. The last onion I cut up and cooked was so strong, I thought we were all gonna go blind. All right, so I'm gonna take off one more layer. That layer's looking a little sad. And again, we're just going to save all this, so it's not going to go to waste. All right. I'll put that in my bag in a minute. So we have this. It's all put together. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut all the way down, but not to the end. So down. This is not safe how I'm doing this. Down, but not all the way to the end. And then I'm going to make a little bit bigger cuts for this, because it's going on my sheet pan. This is that end where we didn't cut all the way to, so we'll give that a little bit of a cut. Save that piece for our stock. Oh, this is very strong. All right, so now we have our leek. Oh, excuse me while I cry. We have our leek and our onion cut. I'm just gonna throw it in with these Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to put these in my bag in the freezer. Here's my bag. I don't have very much in there because I don't have any meat right now to currently turn into a stock. But we'll throw that in there and put that back in the freezer. Sherman. I just realized my bedroom door is open and I think the dogs ate some cookies. I'll be right back. They did. They totally went in my room and ate a cookie. It's the big one. He is a Great Dane. On his hind legs, he's about 6'4", 180 pounds, and he can climb so high. So I hide my pregnancy treats, and this stinker eats them. Anyways, back to cooking. Not going to dwell on his badness. All right, next we're going to cut up some bacon. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 strips left. I'll probably do 4. Okay, I just chopped these up into thirds, these strips. So they're about this big. And I'll link my inspiration for this recipe. It's pretty much the same as her recipe was. I can't even remember her name off the top of my head. But we have that. Move that off to the side. All right, we're gonna work on my husband's lunch while the chicken is marinating. All right, I just moved everything off to the side. So these are the containers I use for his lunch. I absolutely love them. I'm actually missing the little piece right there. I'll go grab it. But he can microwave his stuff in here, and then he has his non-microwavable stuff up there. So this is what we're going to be filling. I usually will portion off a section for him from dinner when I'm putting away after cooking and after we eat. I'll just automatically put it in here. But like I said, I don't have anything. So what I think I'm going to make today is I have this container of goat cheese and sun-dried tomato raviolis from Trader Joe's. I got them when my mom was going to be here because she can't do dairy, cow dairy. And I didn't think to look on the back, and there's ricotta in it. So she can't have that. And I don't like goat cheese, but my husband does. So I think we'll do this with some of the pesto we have in the fridge, some of these tomatoes. And then I have this chicken left over from dinner that I made with you last time. So we'll throw that in, and I think we'll top it with some Parmesan, and that'll be a great lunch for him. So I'm going to get this water boiling for this, and we'll show you how that goes. All right, I just have some salted water on there. I'm going to get that boiling. And walk around. While the water's boiling, we're going to cut some of this chicken into smaller pieces and work on the top portion of his lunch. So that's all of that chicken. I'm just going to cut, I'm not going to use all of that chicken. I have probably about 4 or 5 pieces left. And then I'm going to cut these just in half. Well, that one's in thirds because it was bigger, but. Okay, we have that. I'm going to leave my tomatoes whole. Move that off to the side. Oops. Actually, let's just put it in this bowl over here. The bottom part to our thing. Okay. All right, so I have the chicken just waiting until our raviolis are done. Now let's work on this part. So I usually put pistachios or something like that in his lunch. We're all out. But I have these 100-calorie packs of almonds. So we're just going to add some of these in there. Looks like it'll hold 4 packs. And he goes to work at 5 o'clock, and he actually just called me. So he just left work. So he's there 12 hours. So I try to pack him enough food for 12 hours worth of work. Cut up some veggies. I'm just going to do some peeled carrots for him. I realize that they're already baby carrots, but I like to slice them in half just because I send some ranch. And I feel like when you're dipping your carrots in ranch and they're super big, it just doesn't have the same effect. So we have that cut up. I'm going to do some cuties and find another piece of fruit to put in. So I'm pretty sure I sent him with grapes today. So we're going to do some strawberries. And what I do is I just half his oranges. That would fall apart. Oh, I meant to put the carrots away. So I half these and put them on one side, and then I'm just going to cut these the strawberries need to be eaten. I'm just going to cut these up into smaller pieces so they fit on this side. So I have this all done for him. I just mentioned that I didn't have the little container that goes here. I'll just grab the one out of his lunch that he brings home today and stick it in there. So there's the chicken we're going to add in for his raviolis. And we'll wait. As they're done cooking, we'll throw the raviolis and the pesto in the container. Then he's good to go. I like to throw in an apple and a protein drink, so you can have the nuts and the protein drink and the apple for like a breakfast, and then the other part for a lunch. I think I'm going to make some rice to go with this dinner. So I'm going to get my stove turned on. I'm going to set it to 375 so it can be preheating. And then I'm going to throw some rice in my rice cooker. I cannot make rice in a pan to save my life. I've tried 400 million times and I just can't do it. So I cheat and I use the rice cooker. I'll do about a cup of rice and then we'll assemble our sheet pan and get it going. Don't you love when you take the time to do the dishes and clean the counter before you start cooking? And then you cook and then there's 100 dishes again. Me too, it's my favorite. All right, we're just gonna rinse this rice. Got a cup in there. I'm just gonna rinse the rice. I put a cup of rice in there. I prefer like a basmati or a jasmine to just a regular white rice. That's just my personal preference. But I thought the rice with this sauce and this chicken would be really good. I'm going to throw my cup of rice in. I'm going to put 2 cups of water. I probably should have gotten bigger than a half of a cup measuring spoon. And then I always like to throw a little bit of olive oil in with mine, just a tiny bit. I'm going to use my garlic infused one. I think that'd be really good. So just, this is a tablespoon, so it's maybe half a tablespoon. All right. Shut that, turn it on, and hit white rice. All right, the water's almost boiled. We are gonna throw all of this stuff in for dinner onto the sheet pan and get ready to cook. I'm just gonna rinse these off, drain the water and rinse them off, and then I'll be back. I realized when I was rinsing the potatoes that I just made rice, and that's rice and potatoes. But you know what? That's just what dinner's going to be tonight because this brain of mine doesn't work like it usually does. So we're going to dump these Brussels sprouts. A little tray came out. And we're going to dump the potatoes. And we're going to spread them out. And I'm going to add a little bit more salt and a little bit more seasoning. So some salt. We're going to do white pepper this time. Some white pepper. Some more of that basil. So I want to make sure my veggies are super flavorful as well. And some more paprika. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our bacon and we're just going to place it on top. And in her recipe, she said don't have it touching because you want the bacon to fall, or the bacon grease to fall and really flavor up your food. The dogs are all right here because there's bacon and chicken. So let's see. Oh, my hair crutches. Someone's coming. All right. Give me 1 minute to see what this other kid needs. All right, now we're going to put pieces of our chicken just spaced throughout. She wanted an ice cream and to ask me when she's going to be able to walk. I have no idea when she's going to be able to walk. And I told her she can't have an ice cream before dinner. I don't think she loved that. All right, let me get this on this tray. This is basically what we're going to be doing. All right, we have all of our chicken on. We're just going to, let me grab a spatula. Okay, we're just going to get all of this seasoning and we're going to pour it over the top. I don't want to waste any of this garlic and basil. All right. My oven just preheated, so we're going to throw this in at 375 for about 30 minutes until everything is cooked. Saying I need to bring it and then I keep forgetting. Her pants are off?
Why do you have little pants?
She had pants on. Hello, it's future me here. I just wanted to clarify something. So I said we're going to wing the recipe, and then I totally was like, I'm following this recipe. And I just want to say that when I follow a recipe, I literally watch the video one time, and then hours later went in the kitchen and tried to recreate it. I didn't write anything down. I didn't put the measurements down. I just watched what she put together and thought, oh, I have bacon, I have Brussels sprouts, I have balsamic vinegar. And if you were to watch her video and watch mine, you'll see I even left some stuff out. I added stuff. So that might be a little bit confusing. But we don't follow recipes around here, ever. Because who does that? Not this gal. Scoop of pesto. And we're just mixing all the flavors together. We're not cooking it because everything is cooked at this point. All right. Okay. Top it with some parm. And there we have it. It's a little too hot to put that on now, but this is the container that it comes with. So it just has some ranch. And it goes in there. And then when this is cool, we'll stick it together with the protein shake and an apple. Okay, here it is. Looks pretty good. I don't think my parchment paper did anything. Let's plate it up. There we go. It looks pretty good. Haven't tasted it yet.